Hey, chat. Good evening, guys. This is a serious. This is gonna be a serious stream, and it's pretty somber. Richard Allen starts trial next week, and yeah, guys, um, it's gonna be a doozy. It's gonna be a doozy. Um, we'll find out just how unfair of a trial a man can get in the state of Indiana. So that's the sad part. Ultimately, that's kind of the TLDR. If you guys are new to this, Richard Allen is being accused of the murder of two girls that were found dead in a park near Delphi, Indiana in 2017. Abby Williams and Liberty German. And Richard Allen's been accused of being their murderer. The evidence against him doesn't really make any sense. And the way the investigations occurred doesn't make any sense. Annie says, invite Bob. Is he here in the chat? I would, but I don't know what he's up to. I didn't see. I mean, he's got a family and everything. I'll reach out to him and see if he can. But yes, as we covered this quite a bit at the beginning, chat, and as things have gone on, the multiple issues by the state for their lies and their treachery and their deceit regarding their investigation and the refusal to follow leads, just like oopsie poopsie errant destruction of evidence, among many other things that occurred throughout this case. And then we got to see the absolute corruption of the judiciary with Judge Gull, who, once again, I question the woman's ability to be a judge at this point. I question her character and fitness as an attorney. This woman has done nothing but obstruct and obfuscate Richard Allen's ability to have a fair trial in the state of Indiana. And if you guys recall, she had gotten so out of line, the Indiana Supreme Court had to come in and bitch slap her and put her back in her place for attempting to remove Brad Rosie and Andrew Baldwin from the case as attorneys because her ego was scuffed. It's just been an absolute travesty of justice. Demon's Wrath, this occurred in 2017. The girls' murders occurred in 2017. So it really, I mean, here's the thing, guys. At the end of the day, Richard Allen's going to get convicted. I'm not going to tell you to sit here and think, oh, there's hope. We're not going to sit here and snort hopium all day. He's probably going to get convicted. I don't see how he doesn't at this point, given the limitations Judge Gull has put on the jury or put on the defense and everything that's going to happen there. The fact that she's allowed the state to basically have free reign. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I'd love to tell you there's probably a way to victory, and there might be. But the reality of it, guys, is it's probably not going to happen. Richard Allen's going to get fucked. And if you've never seen an innocent man basically get lynched, you're going to watch it. You're going to watch it happen live. And the sad thing is you're not going to be able to get to watch it live. That's just another layer of this. You're going to get to hear the stories about what happens. People like Andrea Burkhart and Bob Mott. So Andrea Burkhart's going to be there. Bob Mott is going to be there from Defense Diaries. He's going for a couple of days. He actually might be going for a lot because it's kind of around the corner from him. There's going to be a lot of people there covering it and telling us what happens, but we'll never get to see it. We'll never get to watch it. We'll never get to hear it. The judge has prohibited all audio and visual recordings from being done in the courtroom. And we'll get to what the court has ordered in the meantime as far as press interactions. Like I said, I'm not trying to scare you guys here. Oh, Lawyer Lee is going too? Mm-hmm. Yep. Good. Eric says no live streams. I mean, there's nothing to live stream. There's nothing for me to live stream here. We'd just be sitting here going, "Oh, well, God, I hope it's going well." I mean, we're just going to be sitting here. It's going like. I mean, that's all we're going to be able to do. Hold on a second, Clyde, come here, Bubba. Come here. Hi, come here. Come here, buddy. Come on, Clyde. Come here. Sergeant Dornan saying, what would... So yeah, that's where we are with this. Annie says this sucks. It does entirely. Luke says that's assuming they can get in the courtroom. There's only 24 seats available. Yeah. Yeah, there's very little we can do with this. Philip Martin, you say that, and I hate to say that you're correct. Sarah Boone probably has a better chance of getting acquitted at this point. That's a shame. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Says, what would be the downside exactly to just causing a mistrial by accidentally letting some of this stuff slip out? I mean, there really isn't a downside except, Rosie and Baldwin would probably get grieved for it. But yes, I mean, that's probably the best thing that could happen to Richard Allen is getting a mistrial. It's probably the only option for him. Otherwise, he's going away forever. And remember, guys, it's not like the Court of Appeals is going to change their mind. They're generally going to uphold everything. And Sergeant Jordan is saying, what did Richard Allen do to warrant this kind of treatment? Well, Richard Allen did the thing that I always tell you guys not to do. Talk to the police. During their investigation, Abby and Libby were found in the woods dead. And now we learn they were stabbed to death. But underneath one of the girls was a .40 caliber cartridge. So a bullet encasing, unfired. And talking to Richard Allen's like, oh yeah, well, I have a .40 caliber handgun. And then when he talked to the cops and sat there in the police station, talked to him, they got a warrant. They examined the gun, and they have claims from tool mark examiners that the bullet came from a similar type of gun, a similar Sig Sauer P226. So what did Richard Allen do? Richard Allen did the thing I tell you not to do. Do not talk to the cops. So that's what's going to happen here. Bob says you just saw a picture of Judge Gull. Yeah. Judge Gull's in the thumbnail as well. Oh, Bella's saying, just found out one of my best friends from college in my 20s has stage 4 colon cancer. He has never caught a break in his life and he's going to die. Well, I am sorry to hear that. Thoughts go to your friend. May it be as peaceful as possible for him. And if he wishes to fight, then I hope he has a long and prosperous fight. Rabbit Six says it's hard to railroad someone with a free press. But that's exactly what's happening because the court's not responding to what's going on in the outside world. So it's actually pretty easy to get railroaded. And he says Allen could very well have done this. Theoretically, sure. But at this point, the amount of subterfuge and deception by the police and their incompetence, he's at the very least not guilty and at the very, and at the most innocent. And given how the police have acted, I'm presuming he's innocent at this point because you wouldn't fight this hard to set up a guilty man. You only do this when you know that you've got the wrong guy. Holy Ralphamel Empire says he confessed multiple times, and according to the state, he's confessed multiple times. Remember, we've never heard the evidence. And some of these confessions occurred while Richard Allen's sitting in a prison cell eating his own shit because he's completely detached from reality. And I'm not sure I consider that a reliable confession. So once again, the prosecution's telling you this happened. We actually have no idea on some of these what's actually been said. Bob says he self-snitched. I mean, he told them things. he told them things that are very innocuous but fit into their story. So there you go. Sula says, isn't tool mark evidence considered junk science? We're going to get to that. We'll get to that issue. We're going to get there, guys. Philip Martin says, how is anything Gull does remotely legal / constitutional? Because it's within her discretion as a judge to exclude things or deny things. She can say, well, I made a decision, I've deliberated it and thought it over, and that's good enough. That's a shame says there's no way he could have done it. Well, I agree. But at the people are saying, well, we don't know that. I'm like, we know he didn't do it. Yes, some of these statements are objectively false. Yes. I think at one time he's confessed to killing them in a way that they weren't killed, among other things. He confessed to doing it, and it didn't involve stabbing them, which is what happened. So, yeah, Richard Allen may have said a lot of things. He could have confessed to murdering them by throwing them off a cliff. That didn't happen. So, that's not very reliable. Ag says, how is Allen even saying to stand trial? Well, they've been able to talk to him. And yeah, since then he's been moved to the local county jail in a nearby county, and he's apparently doing a lot better. But for now, yeah, he's apparently saying to stand trial. That same says, yes, he and the people who saw him on the trail were the only ones on the trail. Mm-hmm. Stacy said, was he really eating his own turds? Yes. He literally was in a prison cell eating his own shit at one point. The prison documented that. He was literally eating his own shit when he was confessing to crimes. Afton says, will Judge Gull allow that? We're going to get to that issue. So we're going to get to that. So let's get started. Let's get started with, I think, probably one of the worst things that Judge Gull has done. And this is going to be, it's going to set the tone. And you guys, we've talked about it before, and we've kind of joked with Judge Gull. She goes, denied! Because that's all she does is deny everything the defense does. Salty saying he was so detached from reality, he's in his own turds and confessing to things that couldn't have happened, but he's saying to stand trial. That's a discussion him and his attorneys have had, and they believe he's sane. Moving him out of where he was, he's regained his competency, he's regained his composure, he's regained some level of sanity that he can help his defense. This is an uplifting and happy stream so far. Guys, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's all in the bag. I can't do that for you. I can't. It's just, yeah. Would she deny Frank's motion? Yes. In fact, there were 4 separate Frank's motions filed in this case, and she denied every single fucking one of them. There are only a handful of things she has granted, and one of them was removing Richard Allen from the prison. That is like one of the things she did that was actually beneficial to Richard Allen. Everything else has been denied. Motions to suppress, denied. Frank's motions, as I said, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Frank's motions have been denied. And they were well thought out and really good ones. So, yeah. Judge Gull has not been, and we're going to get to this. We're going to get to this one here. This really wants to set the tone if you guys are new and we're catching up to this here. This is the order she put out a while back. But this once again, chat will tell you everything you know about Judge Gull. One of the theories that the defense has put together is that when the girls were found murdered in the woods, there were a bunch of sticks surrounding them. And these sticks were arranged in the symbols to look like runes in the Nordic traditions, and that were found on the ground. After a lot of research and investigation, the police did find a professor at Purdue University who confirmed, yes, these kind of look like runes, or what people who are ignorant of religion would think runes look like. And from there, the police buried that lead. And the defense accidentally found it, looking through discovery. But yes, there were runic images found. And this led to the idea that there were a group of people called Odinists, who are a bunch of slack-jawed losers and likely homosexuals out in that area of Indiana who practice Odinism and paganism. Once again, I really don't know what they think they're doing, but okay. And yes, why were there where were there Norse runes around the girls? During that investigation, they found out one of the children, these guys had a teenage boy. And that boy had a girlfriend. That girlfriend was Libby Germain. So Libby Germain was the girlfriend of one of these Odinist sons. Yes, you heard that right. And immediately the police said, "Yeah, he's not involved." And the other friends this guy is friends with in the area are complete psychopaths. Complete psychopaths who are extremely violent and have a history of violence. And there's going to be potentially a third-party defense that someone else did it. I didn't do it. So what do we know? Well, the judge issued an opinion here, and we're going to show it. This is going to show you what you're dealing with. What day did she do this? September 3rd, 2024. This just came out less than a month ago. So the prosecution filed a motion in limine. And because of that, the burden is on the defense to show a nexus between Odinism, cultish or ritualistic killings. And these names you guys have probably heard, many of us have heard before. Brad Holder, Patrick Westfall, Johnny Messer, Elvis Fields, Ned Smith, Rod Abrams, Keegan Klein, a pedophile who's in prison now. A pedophile who was active and out in that area when the girls died. And Jerry Klein, Ron Logan, and the murders of the two victims. So the court has determined they failed to produce admissible evidence demonstrating a nexus between these guys. And therefore, the court will not permit evidence regarding third-party perpetrators in this trial, as the probative value is greatly outweighed by the confusion of the issues and its potential to mislead the jury. Richard Allen's going to have to prove it to somebody who already said it doesn't exist. And they're going to have to prove it on the record outside the presence of a jury to a judge who's already denied him the right to present this defense. So the most critical defense he could have waged at this point is being denied to him. Hold on one second, chat. He's not being a good dog. 2.0 is getting a little concerned. He's being a bad boy. Yes, Clyde is in trouble. He's terrorizing Lainey somehow. She's growling at him, and I can hear her. Oh. So, Clyde is opening my White Claws, if only. So, yes, basically the best and arguably the most credible defense for Richard Allen. Poof, gone. If they can show her more proof, which, let's be real, they're not going to be able to. Judge Gull's not going to let this in. So that's where we have to start with. That's how this woman is acting. So, and this was filed less than a week ago, or about a week ago. The next thing we're looking at is the actual courtroom management and decorum order. And this is from Judge Gull as well. And I thought this gives you guys, this is going to answer a lot of your questions. And I also thought, once again, this gives you a little bit of context to what we're looking at here. So this is the management order. And she says, this case has generated substantial interest and media attention. In light of this interest, there are rules of conduct and guidelines designed to govern the expectations of people involved in the trial and those observing the trial, so the decorum of open court will be maintained. The purpose of this order is to secure the defendant's constitutional rights to a fair and impartial jury. Well, showing us all the evidence and televising the trial would be great, while permitting the public and the press to exercise their First Amendment rights. In addition, the order protects the identity of the jurors. So therefore, the following rules are in effect. The schedule, it will be modified. They're tentative, modified daily. The judge invites the media representatives to meet with her and counsel of record. So that'll be the two defense attorneys and the prosecution on October 17th at 3 p.m. in the Carroll County Court at the Carroll County Courthouse to discuss the order. So on the 17th. And why the 17th? Well, I just told you the jury selection starts on the 15th. Because they're going to do jury selection first, and by the 17th, they should be done. And that way, she can tell them what their rules are. So, jury selection begins October 14th, which, once again, I think there's going to be a massive problem. I wonder how many jurors aren't going to show up because it's Columbus Day. And it'll go October 16th, and the trial begins the 17th, and will go through November 15th. So, just shy of a month. All sessions begin at 9 a.m. Eastern Time and will conclude at approximately 6 p.m. Eastern Time. That's a long day in court, guys. It's a long day in court. There will be a recess for lunch and brief recesses in the morning and afternoon. Now, all media representatives shall identify themselves and produce appropriate identification. Additionally, even the press may not possess any electronic devices, including recording devices, cameras, cell phones, tablets, etc. Really makes you feel like this is going on there. Really makes you feel like this is going to be legitimately done, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Oh, Richard Allen's got his third attorney. Yeah, well, she'll survive. She'll fucking make do, Chad. I think she'll survive if I forgot about her. So the court appoints George, whoever this guy is, to administer the media credentialing process. Credentials will be issued within the court's discretion. Yes, all requests for credentials just must be made to this guy by October 10th, so that day is come and gone. Any person requesting a credential must be prepared to present credentials identifying the person as a member of a recognized media organization. Isn't that interesting, chat? You have to be a member of a recognized media organization. Oh, we only let in the professional press. No citizen journalist, huh? I'm a member of the press. I'm a journalist covering this. I'm covering a newsworthy event and telling everybody about it. Well, know what? I don't count. Listen to that. Absolutely garbage. Absolutely garbage. Danny, we'll get to this event. We'll get to this in a minute. Does Court TV even count? Of course, yes. And it's about who you're recognized. It's about whether or not Judge Gull recognizes you. You're going to have to be from the newspaper or TV5 or Court TV. And yes, that's the thing. Everybody's shitting on this woman, but she keeps doing her thing. Anyways, the media should be prepared to display their credentials any times during the proceedings. Credentials will be assigned to the media as opposed to the specific individuals. Okay. Access to the courtroom starts at 8:30. Once a courtroom session begins, distractions will not be allowed. Well, that's kind of normal for everywhere. The bailiff will only allow entrance and exit during designated breaks in the trial or when a witness is entering and exiting the witness stand. If a person chooses to leave the courtroom, he or she shall not be allowed to re-enter the courtroom until the next break in the proceedings. And seating, all persons must be seated. There is no standing room. No persons will be admitted unless there's adequate seating. The defense is allocated 10 seats. The prosecution's allocated 10 seats. The families are allocated 20 seats. The credentialed media will be allowed 12 seats. And the general public will be allotted the balance of the seats in the courtroom. If seats are in high demand, media may be limited to one representative from each organization. Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's going to be too many things for the public, chat. Gosh, that's great. Oh, that's just awesome. You know, the families get extra. The families of the victims get extra seats. Why? Why do they need extra seats? The prosecution's got a bunch of seats. Anyways, during jury selection, there will be a reduced number of seats available, which that makes sense. Yes, 0 are going to be permitted. Yes. Maddie B says, if I was a lawyer, I'd have an audio recording pen and leak it daily. That sounds great, but then you lose your law license forever, and then it doesn't necessarily help Richard Allen too much. So he still gets convicted, and then you're out. It's not going to help too much. All seats will be available on a first come, first served basis. Unoccupied seats in the courtroom may be given to the public. Yeah, that's good. There's a dispute. Any dispute among the media will be decided by the media organizations collectively. If the dispute can't be resolved, the court may employ a blind draw seating arrangement. So if they're arguing about cameras and you're blocking my shots and all of that, yeah, the court's going to say, fix it yourself. And that's actually something I agree with. They need to handle their own problems. If they can't handle it, guess what? The court will do something on its own, and they'll draw straws. So the jury's completed questionnaires will be treated as confidential documents, which makes sense. That's not uncommon. The information relating to a juror or prospective juror will not, and not disclosed in open court, will be kept confidential, other than for the use of parties and counsel. No party, counsel, court staff shall publish or disclose in any way the name, address, or likeness of any juror or prospective juror. So we aren't going to be able to hear he's 35 and he's a black guy with dreads. So you're not going to hear any of that. Potential jurors will only be identified by their juror number. That is not uncommon, guys. Multiple courtrooms I've been in, you refer to the juror. Hi, juror number 14. Can I ask you? I'd like to ask you some questions. Good morning, sir. And you'd say, Mr. 14 is normally, that's how I do it, and everybody gets a chuckle, but you're not allowed to address them by their name. Some judges don't like that. They like to keep it confidential. So no photograph recording of the jurors allowed. Yep. If the jurors are sequestered, this prohibition shall also include travel, dining, and lodging locations, as well as the parking and transportation. And that makes sense there. The media shall make no attempt to contact or question impaneled jurors until the court has discharged them. Once again, that makes sense. To ensure the jurors don't overhear interviews, press interview locations will be restricted and probably isolated from the jury. At the end of trial, the court will ask jurors if they're interested in speaking, and that's going to be up to the jurors to decide if they want to. So no still or video photography or audio recording shall be permitted in the Carroll County Circuit Courtroom or the courthouse. Any violation shall result in the item being confiscated and erased. Any interception, transmission, reproduction, broadcast, or dissemination of the audio signal created by the court's audio system is prohibited. Any voice recognition software used to capture and transcribe procedure is also prohibited. Still and video photography and audio recordings are permitted only outside the courthouse. All recording equipment is permitted in that area outside. So they point out that no interviews or broadcasts shall take place in the courtroom or the adjacent areas. Instead, the media must conduct interviews outside the courthouse. And electronic devices. So no laptops, iPads, cell phones shall be permitted in the Allen County Courthouse. Members of the press and public shall not use a laptop, computer, iPads, tablets, Kindles, cell phones, pagers, PDAs, cameras. People still use PDAs. I mean, it's basically what a smartphone is now. Electronic watches and electronic eyeglasses like Google Glasses. There are no reserved parking spaces available. The city side parking is regulated by the city. And going for their media contacts, yes. If you have concerns from the media representatives, let the court know. And Judge Gull says, "That's my signature." Rah! And that's what Judge Gull says. SB Seller says, "No transcription seems super shady." Yes. Luke says, "Someone got her with the glasses last time, so it's on there." Yeah, I heard about that. And J-Rock says yes, we're going to do the Nick Ricada defense. Well, Your Honor, he didn't say no tape recorders. It's not going to work. Yes, all this seems... not all of it seems sus. Some of it's sus, but some of it's pretty boilerplate. Kat says, what can be done to prove his not to get him acquitted at this point? I mean, these third-party defenses are going to be critical, and she's not going to let him in. So, yeah, that's the big thing. That's the big thing here. Danny says, what's the defense's theory of the case? I mean, it's multiple things, but one of the big ones is that it was a third party. These Odinists were involved. These fucking creepo weirdos trying to worship some pagan god thing, being apostates. Like I worship a pagan god. Like, why? Because you're a loser and you like fucking watching Valhalla, or you like watching the Viking show? Like, all of a sudden you're like, I feel a deep connection to the god Odin. It really gets to me, man. Jesus and God, fuck them. It's Odin that I feel the connection. He spoke to me. Anyways, those guys are accused. Those guys are thought to have been involved in a murder and know who did it. And these girls were killed as part of a ritualistic killing. That's the main theory by the defense. And I think it's pretty credible. And Valerie Gerasimov, hello, General. You need to get good at your job. Finish it off. Well, why has Kiev not been glassed yet is what I want to know. And says, wait, you need to be a Jew to get a press pass? Yes. Oh. So that's where we are with this, guys. This is Lucas saying cross-examination is the greatest truth-seeking tool known to man. That's not going to change here. It will, because Judge Gull is going to be heavily restrictive. I guarantee you she's going to step all over them. And she is going to shit up the record left and right. Sadly, she's going to. I mean, that's just... I'm just telling you, that's what's going to happen. I wish I could tell you it's not. But it is. It's just it's so sad. It's so sad. I mean, this is the case summary here. If you guys want to see this, this is the case summary for this is for the case here, Richard Allen, and we're just gonna do. I'm gonna do a word search for denied. The word denied pops up over 29 times in this court in the filings here. And this is where the judge has spoken many times is through this record and makes just journal entries like this. You know, she just goes like this one and she goes, it's just denied. And yes, there's been multiple motions to dismiss based upon newly discovered evidence and or missing exculpatory evidence. And she just goes denied. Once again, guys, there's very little this woman has ever not liked. And yes, once again, she denied the request for recording in the court proceedings by the press. She denied it without a hearing. She decided, we're not doing that. And she went, ha ha. At least that's how I assume Judge Gull sounds when she talks. And her little turkey gizzard flutters. But there's a couple motions that we're going to cover here that have not been addressed yet. And yes, Luke, she already did. Yes. And that's one of the other ones we covered. She's presenting the cops from being cross-examined with their own information they previously presented, which turned out to not be exactly accurate. That has been denied. This woman has not seen a motion for the state that she has said, oh my God, I don't like that one. She generally, however this is set up, you throw in front of her, she goes, oh, granted. Just stamping it out. Yes, there have been multiple things, Chad, including the FBI was used by the police at the beginning. They did a geofence, and we talked about this before. We talked about this in one of the cases on a Thursday night show. You go into a computer system and you get the cell tower data and you say, okay, who was in this area at a certain time? And you go into a computer and you can basically isolate a GPS coordinate system. And you set up the restrictive circle and the restrictive area and how long in that area people were, if they were there at all. And then you calculate and correlate the data. Well, the FBI did that for the police early on. And guess what? There were multiple cell phones pinging in that area when the murders occurred. And when the body, in between that, when the girls disappeared and their bodies were found. But guess what? They're not allowed to bring that in because Judge Gull said so. And her turkey gizzard made that edict. This is, like I said, Chet, this is just a disgusting case because we know what's going to happen. This is so blatant. How come they can't bust her like in Georgia? Well, yeah. And yes, chat. Also, and Luke is bringing up stuff because Luke is Richard Allen. He's got a Richard Allen poster on his wall. The judge shut down the ability for the defense to have expert witnesses paid for. She denied that. So there were fundraisers for Richard Allen raising money for expert witnesses to get retained. That's how bad this is. That's how bad this case is, you guys. I don't know if you get it at this point. It's just one thing after another. So there's another thing that we'll move on to the next topic here. Luke says, "Don't call me out like that." What? Why? You're bringing it up. I'm talking about it. He did a good job. I don't know why you're crying, Luke. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Tim says, do you think he's innocent? I mean, at this point, yes. They are going out. They are trying really goddamn hard for a guilty man. They are trying really goddamn hard. And Tim the Tool says, or is each having his rights violated? Both. Both. So the defense for Richard Allen wanted to do a jury view, and they wanted to take the jury out to the park and the nature preserve where the girls were found, and all this occurred. And once again, the state of Indiana, led by Nick McClellan, the shitbag himself, and I don't put his picture up on anything because Nick McClellan is a piece of shit. A scumbag of a fucking human being. He doesn't deserve to have his picture shown. And objects to the jury being transported to the Freedom Bridge and the Mon and High Bridge, and to the site where the bodies of the victims were located, and to the side of the old Children Protective Services building to view those areas. Because the defense did file a motion to have a jury view, and the state objects to the jury going out to view those areas for the following reasons. The terrain where the bodies found is difficult to traverse and would be dangerous for the jury to get to. It sounds like that'd be kind of tough then to drag two teenage girls around so you could kill them. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like. I'm just saying. He also says traveling to where the bodies were found and to the opposite end of the Mon and High Bridge would involve encroaching on two private landowners' properties. Okay, so what? This is your fault. You indicted this. He should have the right to inspect the crime scene with the jury. And it would require a substantial amount of time and resources to take the jury to those areas while ensuring they're sequestered from the public and outside influences. I mean, it's going to be the same with any... it's going to be the same if there's anything going on outside or you have to go, for whatever purposes. The areas the bodies were found along with the site of the old building are substantially different from the time the crimes occurred. Well, you could document that with pictures. You could point it out. And the state intends to introduce evidence, demonstrative exhibits, maps of the various areas, and drone footage of the various areas to show jurors the places outlined in the defense's request, and that any benefits of the jury visiting the areas outweighed by the dangers present. The state does not believe it is proper to have the jury view the scene or the other various areas. Yeah, nope, not buying it. Absolute garbage. Luke says when Richard Allen is shorter than Libby, yeah, the hill is too steep. So yeah, Richard Allen drugged those girls down the hill, stabbed them, and nobody ever heard anything. Absolute garbage from the prosecution. Now, this one, we're going to cover this here. This is... Oh, why am I having this up here? This is an interesting twist on the way things have gone. Tim the Tool says they're investigating local blacks. I don't think there's any black people in the area. This is like McWhitersville, Indiana. Oh, and also, chat, hold on 1 second here. Just check in on 2.0, you guys. I had to check in on her to make sure she was okay. So It's also a little warm in here. We need to do a little, open the window just a hair. So the state is made a motion in limine, and this was filed just recently. And wait till you hear the arguments they've made. Because remember, one of the arguments is, well, there's tool marks that show this cartridge came from a gun like Richard Allen's. Well, get a load of this, chat. Get a load of this. So they respectfully request an order prohibiting the testimony of Mr. William Toobin, a defense witness regarding firearm examination in general, or firearm examination specifically in this case, until there's a hearing about his abilities and his lists. So William Toobin is listed as a defense witness and was deposed by the state on September 20th. Toobin testified he's a forensic metallurgist and material scientist. He has a Bachelor of Science degree in metallurgy and a Master of Arts degree in special studies, which he testifies primarily the study of law. In his deposition, Toobin testified that when he has been recognized as an expert, it has always been as a forensic metallurgist or material scientist. Toobin stated he has not examined the evidence in this case, though he testified he reviewed some of the reports and notes of the state's firearms examiner, Melissa Oberg. Toobin testified that though he's not reviewed all of the materials, he has what he typically needs to be able to opine on the methodology that's used. Toobin went on to explain the firearms expert's conclusions are based on a flawed methodology. According to Toobin, this methodology is the ATFE, and that's the Association of Firearm and Toolmark Examiners. Theory of identification. This theory is what almost all firearm examiners follow, whether or not they're members of AFTI. And the argument is that at the time of her examination, she was a forensic examiner with the Indiana State Police, and she, along with other state police examiners, follow and apply the theory of identification. Their argument is Toobin is not an expert in the field of firearms examination, unlike another listed defense witness, Dr. Eric Warren. Dr. Warren, like the state's expert, is not only a member of AFTI, but holds or has held positions within AFTI. And you guys remember, the Association of Firearm and Toolmark Examiners is not a governmental organization. It's something these guys made to accredit themselves. They started an organization to give themselves bullshit to put on their CVs and to sound fancy. The state believes his testimony will be that all examiners, including Oberg and even the defense witness, follow a flawed methodology and their opinions are not scientifically reliable. They very well could be not reliable. They really could be garbage. I mean, he might be telling the truth. These guys might suck at what they do. But we're not going to be allowed to know that. We're not going to be allowed to know that at this point. The state won't let you know that. The state believes that Toobin, who is not an expert in the field of firearms examination, lacks the qualifications to testify regarding it, and that his knowledge is not such that it would help the trier of fact, the jury, understand the evidence to determine an issue of fact. The state further believes that Toobin's testimony would lack relevance under Rule 401 since he's not an expert in the field of firearms examination. And finally, the probative value of his testimony would be outweighed by a danger of confusing the issues and misleading the jury. Once again, I don't think they would. The state believes the question of whether or not Toobin should be permitted to testify is very similar to a recent case in Marion County, Indiana, the state of Indiana versus Caden Smith. In the Smith case, a judge there ruled Toobin would not be permitted to testify. So they go over things here and they say this witness and the other judge determined has not tested or reviewed any of the evidence in this case. Well, that's already happened. He has reviewed evidence in this case. And the defendant will have the opportunity to cross-examine the state's witnesses to present his defense as to the shortcomings of firearms examination. And this is where they want an order preventing anybody from talking about this stuff. I mean, it makes you say, what? Well, that's their motion. And then In response to it, Richard Allen's team wrote a motion. This is like and guys, this is the most recent stuff. This is the hottest stuff right now. So they point out that the defense is saying Tube is a 20. Tube is a 27-year veteran of the Federal Bureau of Investigation with. Why is this not working? Oh, come on here. No, what? There we go. Okay, so Tube is a 27-year veteran of the FBI with 24 years experience at the FBI laboratory and an expert in forensic metallurgy. And they argue under Rule 702 that he can be qualified as an expert so long as it helps the trier of fact understand the evidence. And they point out he's got a bachelor's degree in metallurgy, a hard science that is intimately connected with the process of tool mark identification. There's an academic background in statistics, which is also pertinent to the process through which examiners draw their own conclusions. And being employed with the FBI for 27 years and working in their laboratory nearly 25, forensic metallurgy is an expertise that is part and parcel to the skill of tool mark identification. And I would argue it is, because you need to know how metals react, how they do things when they touch other pieces of metal, to figure out how tool marks work. Tubin has been an expert witness on more than 200 cases in courts across the United States. Tubin's work and opinions were cited recently in the Maryland Supreme Court. They also determined that he had done a good job pointing out that the defense's assertions, the identifications were flawed, and all that was supported by Tubin. The state's examiner is nothing more than a lab technician. Oh boy. They hate it when you refer to them as just lab techs. Literally, that's fighting words for those forensic people. They get really mad when you do that. I can tell you that much. Matt says, do I own a mouse or a pen tablet? Or do I use a mouse or a pen tablet? That's all mouse, buddy. That's not a pen tablet. I'm not like Nick. I don't buy like a $5,000 setup just to highlight. So no, this is Ag is just a lab tech. Ooh, that's a fighting word. That's a fighting word there. But no, I do this all. Look, it's all free. That's all just with the mouse. You know, just you don't have the. I don't have the essential tremor. Get steady hands. While she received this is just boof. While she received the training in the discipline of firearms examination, anyone with a high school degree could do the same. Oh! Ah! They just fucking lighting this lady on fire. The state of Indiana refers to Dr. Eric Warren. Warren has been retained by the defense. The state attempts to compare Dr. Warren's expertise with that of Miss Oberg by pointing out both of them are members of AFT. Dr. Warren is a PhD in biological sciences and a current board member. The state took Dr. Warren's deposition on October 3rd. During the deposition, Dr. Warren acknowledged an academic background in metallurgy, a hard science, would be helpful in understanding the process of firearms identification. And guys, what they're talking about with the identification of the firearm is the idea that on the back of a firearm, you'll have, like, what they're arguing is that if this is a bullet, like here, we'll argue if this is a bullet right here. Ooh. So here, we'll do this. Imagine this is a bullet. This is a cartridge, okay, guys? And there's the bullet up front. And then on the back, you've got, you know, where the rim sits. And then, like, here would be the rim. There's the primer. And then, like, the head stamp goes around it. Okay. Well, their argument is that when it's in battery in a gun, there's something called an extractor that grabs onto the rim of the cartridge, That leaves tool marks. Getting chambered into the gun leaves tool marks. Everything in that gun touching it, because a gun is a machine at the end of the day, is going to leave tool marks. So that's what the tool mark examination is covering. Dr. Warren testified a background and statistics would be helpful. Oh, geez, why are you doing this? So he also testified that the critical community within which Tubin and Associates have been helpful has been helpful in moving the firearms identification forward by pushing for new and better processes. Finally, Dr. Warren testified there does exist a healthy debate in the industry as to whether or not the findings of firearms examiners should be admissible in courtrooms across the country. And in fact, there is a movement towards examiners being less definitive about their conclusions in courtroom settings. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now they point out why Tubin's, and this is good here because their monster expert witness is saying, yeah, the other guy is credible. That's a very good way to bolster it by having a very, very, very clearly qualified man saying the other guy's qualified too. And it's not guaranteed, but that's a very good argument. But anyways, Tubin's testimony is relevant because the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology have been critical of the methodology for toolmark examiners. The National Academy of Sciences has issued 2 reports. The problem is these are in 2008 and 2009 that have been critical in part of laboratories conducting firearms examinations. Tubin is familiar with the findings of both the PCAST and National Academy of Sciences relating to the discipline of firearms identification. And the concept of understanding a process which generates any result, whether in a laboratory setting in the course of one's daily activities, is relevant to understanding the meaning or result of a final product created by the process. And simply put, Tubin's testimony tends to prove that the process of examining firearms is unreliable and misleading, and therefore the conclusions offered by the state examiner should be given little to no weight. Now, they say Tubin's opinion on these matters is relevant to the credibility of the state's lab technician who examined the evidence in this case. Now, the state cites this case that's going up through the trial courts, and it's going in the courts of appeals, and it's currently on an appeal. The court's order provides little rationale for the decision to exclude Tubin. And to the extent the state's arguing about it, Richard Allen's offering up a case out of Illinois that was cited, looks like back in 2015. In that case, the circuit court out of Cook County, where Chicago is. The court in Winfield was critical of the discipline of firearms identification altogether. The court ultimately drew the conclusion the state was entirely prohibited from introducing testimony of their alleged experts regarding gun identification. And it was in a 41-page opinion. The Smith case contains no such analysis. So therefore, they're asking that they have a chance to present their evidence. And who knows if they're going to be allowed to. We don't know yet. We don't know. These haven't been ruled on. So these haven't been ruled on. I'm just saying, is a tool mark examination proven to be a bad science? So here's the thing. Tool mark examinations, to an extent, it's very much, when it comes to tool marks, if it's very obvious, like there's dents and dings in a skull or a bone, and you could take a knife and it like locks into place, or, markings from other encounters. Yeah, they're pretty obvious, but, yeah, tool mark examination overall is a bit like voodoo. It's kind of like a subset of anthropology is where it first started, looking at how were people using tools and identifying tool marks and finding fossils and, finding like, oh, this rock has tool marks on it. It's all gouged out. And we could see what tool they were using to chop up the rocks. So there are times when tool marks are helpful, but yes, in a forensic setting, no, I don't think they're helpful for what we need today. Tool marks seem like horoscopes. Yeah, pretty much. It's all voodoo. J-Rock says extractors can be replaced. That's correct too. Barrels, you can replace the barrel on a gun, like right here with our bad boy. You can replace the barrel. You can take a file and run it down a barrel. You can take a file and run it through a chamber and scratch it up in a different way. It could be sanded. It could be replaced. It could be welded. It could be a million different things that will change and alter what kind of tool marks you have, and you might not ever know what the original looked like. Is it like phrenology? Pretty much, yes. Yeah, J-Rock's right too. Firing pins, extractors, everything can be replaced. Yeah, you can bore lap it. Mm-hmm. And SB Seller says using a gun changes it. Yeah, but you're generally gonna be like they can identify it at that point while you're using it. But yes, technically, as you use a firearm, you wear the barrel down little by little by little, and you wear the gun out little by little by little by little by little as part of the design. So, Shaw Levy, why are you posting, good sir? It's Yom Kippur. Shouldn't you be in temple right now? I feel some kinship with Richard Allen. I hope he gets justice too. Okay, see, I acknowledge you once, like, there. So that is the argument. Judge Gull has not ruled on it. I'm sure she's going to say, the state's motion is granted. Because that's what she does. That is what she does. Oh. Now, moving on, there is one last thing, and this one just reeks of absolute fuckery. And this got filed today. And this is a motion that was filed by the defense. And it is the seeking an out-of-state service on a witness. And they want the court to issue a certificate of appearance under the seal of the court and directing a material witness, Dr. Monica Walla, to appear and testify at the jury trial in this case. In support of it, they'll say what happens. So the jury trial starts Monday. By direction, opening arguments will begin Friday, October 18th. While awaiting trial, defendant Allen was detained for a period greater than 1 year in the Westville Correctional Maximum Security Segregation Unit. And guys, that's the thing. He was kept in ad seg at a prison for over a year. Pursuant to a safekeeping order issued by Judge Ben Diener back in November of 2022. And I hope that judge realizes he's a fucking shitbag. That judge condemned Richard Allen to being stuck in a prison. He was stuck in a prison as a man is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Because the sheriff of Carroll County said, I can't care for this guy. And Judge Gull let him sit for months and months on end. And they said while he was in custody, he waited trial. While at that facility, Richard Allen was assigned to psychologist Dr. Monica Walla, who at that time was employed by the third-party mental health provider, Centurion. On or about July 31st, Dr. Walla remained employed at Centurion and testified at pretrial hearings. In the days following her testimony, Dr. Walla was issued a gate disclosure by the Department of Corrections, and it's believed that Dr. Walla is no longer employed with Centurion. The defense just recently became aware of said gate disclosures and apparent termination of the employment with Centurion. Yeah, that's very interesting. This witness who's going to talk about this guy, all of a sudden on the eve after she testifies, oh, you're fired. Oh, you can't come in no more. Bye. Yeah, that's what happened today. That's what happened today. Centurion's legal representative did not communicate via email. Did communicate that he no longer represents Dr. Wall and cannot accept service for any subpoenas or documents directed to her. The attorney represented that he no longer represents any other party or non-party involved in the case. Defendant Richard Allen's attorneys believe, but are not certain, that Dr. Walla currently resides at 4657 North Canfield Avenue, Northridge, Illinois, 60706. Dr. Walla also confirmed during her testimony she resided in the state of Illinois. Illinois. My apologies, chat. Therefore, Richard Allen desires to secure the appearance and testimony of Dr. Walla, an out-of-state witness, through the process outlined in the Indiana Code. Now, Richard Allen believes that she's a material witness for the following reasons. Oh, shit. Okay, guys, sorry. Shared screen shared. Screen is shared. Let's tamp it down, chat. I got you, chat. I got you. You're good. Just shh. You're good. Anyways, they determined she lives out of state. So serving her a subpoena is an issue. But anyways, they want a material witness designation for her because she was his treating psychologist while he was incarcerated for over 1 year. She met with Richard Allen numerous times, and nearly all of them were intended to address and monitor his mental health. Nearly all the communications between her and Richard Allen occurred in confidential and privileged, therefore therapeutic sessions. And the state intends to introduce evidence in the trial incriminating statements made by Richard Allen while he was incarcerated at this prison. Remember, guys, this is the place where he was eating his own shit. Richard Allen intends to prove that the incriminating statements made were involuntary and resulted from the conditions surrounding his incarceration. Yeah. He was locked down almost 24 hours a day, every day, and treated like he was in maximum security. Treated like a prisoner, not a guy who's potentially innocent. The doctor was in a position that her medical opinion regarding his psychiatric condition is relevant. The defense believes Dr. Wallace's testimony will require 2 full days and special request the court allow her to appear on beginning Monday and Tuesday, 11th and the 12th of November to testify, and scheduling it out like that because maybe that's the only time she's available. So Richard Allen seeking a certificate of appearance from this court, acknowledging her materiality in the case and specifying the number of days she will be required to attend the trial. With that order, and this is how you present orders and enforce orders out of state, with that order, they intend to present it to a court of record in Cook County, Illinois, where Dr. Wall is believed to reside, and then use that process to secure her appearance. Because that's how you do it. You get it. You go to that court, you get it recognized, and then you can serve people. So Allen intends to tender a sum for expenses equal to the amount provided under this to reimburse Walla for her attendance at trial and all the fees which shall be charged upon Carroll County, Indiana, where this prosecution is pending. So they're asking for that to get done, and I think that's going to fly. The defense hasn't responded to this one, but I mean, if I remember right, though, this is... Actually, never mind. That's not going to work. That's not correct. Gene says, when is the trial date? Supposed to start on Monday, but the opening arguments won't start until Friday morning. So there's going to be like 3 days of jury selection of it sounds like they're going to take a day off on the 17th, and then the 18th is when it happens. And Kimbo says, when you say to irreverent Cook County, you got also respect for the name. Okay. Yes, the bestest county in all of Illinois. Cook County, Illinois. There. Is that better? Oh, but anyways, chat, those are the big things where we are right now and what we've got to deal with. I know some of you might say this sounds really bleak for Richard Allen. I mean, I'm not like it is. This is bleak. This is not going to go well, man. This is kind of stacked against him. Okay, so we're going to read some super chats here real quick. And we'll come back to you guys. The Amateur Iconoclast gifted 1 sub. Unhung Hero gifted 1 sub. Thank you guys both very much. Megals for 10 Australian dollar reduce says for Clyde treats. Well, thank you. You hear that, Clyde? Somebody's buying you treats, buddy. Alias Unknown says, is this pre-recorded? I mean, is it? Maybe. Stephen Cooper says, does Joe count with his New York City press pass? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there are websites where you can get like the little, like a press pass is just those little plastic cards. They'll print it up with your company logo on it, make it look all fancy, and they'll even put this like holographic reflective little finish on it. And it's nothing serious, it's something goofy, but that way though people are seeing it in the light and it's, looking like a press pass. So some people do use those that are available out there. And then Palmyra Productions for $20. Yes, thank you. Is saying, how's it going, man? It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good today. By the way, chat, we had the trial set for this morning, the bench trial. My client didn't show up, so no trial this morning. So, oh well. We didn't lose. Ha ha. I mean, we didn't lose technically. He says, here's $10 for missing out because I've been so busy. I appreciate that, but you know what? It's good to see you around. Don't be a stranger, but life gets in the way. I get that. But thank you. And then the other 10 is for the upcoming Ricardo Martin 2024 campaign. Everybody get out there and vote. It's like, if I catch him with the baldo on, can I invoke the 25th Amendment? But thank you, Palmyra. Vince Clortho has been a member for 8 months. He says, YouTube sucks. I can't chat. Well, there you go. You just did. But yes, I can't breathe with the keyboard. Danny Hardesty saying, did any voice recognition software link Allen to the down the hill comment? If you guys don't recall, one of the girls has a Snapchat that's only a second long where it's like, go down the hill. Nope, was not tied to him. I don't think they could do it. Luke has been a member for 11 months. Luke, thank you very much. Says, remember, use the code ALANUSSY at Locals Chat. If you're going to do a promo code at Locals, it's PotCrim. Gets you 1 month free. And then EDW Raptor gifted 10 subs. Thank you, EDW Raptor. And then Medicare Masochist, Palmyra Productions gifted 5 subs. Guys, thank you both for your support. I truly appreciate it. Very, very, very much so. Thank you. Thank you. Is there a bench warrant with the bond increase? No, the original bond was set in place and reinforced. It wasn't an extra one on there. Should KV still be charged for the time missed? Yeah, don't worry. That's not a problem. Don't worry. I'm okay there. You guys saying, why didn't Nick show up? No, it wasn't for Nick. It was here in Ohio. So, no, I wasn't secretly going up to Minnesota to help him. Okay? I know it sounds funny, but... Oh, is Nick selling his house? Their second house? Yes, it looks like it. It's up on Zillow. So I would go on Zillow I would go on I would go on the farms and look for it, and you can see what's going on with it. Looks like there's a price drop, though. So there you go. Have I talked about Mercedes Carrera? No, I have not really talked about her case before. That's something we could touch on coming up. And do you think that's weird? Orville, she's spent 5 years already waiting trial. Guys in Atlanta have spent up to 10 years waiting for their trial on a routine basis. So there you go. Anderson Cooper 360 no scope. Oh, I hated you guys. Especially in like Counter-Strike, you're holding the op and you just go, you jump and yank the mouse, and it's just yank the mouse, click, bang, and you just kill somebody. It's like, oh my God. So, yeah. Just absolute nonsense, chat. Absolute nonsense. Yeah, one of the YSL defendants has been on trial for 9 years. J-Rock said the worst I had in the ATL, the Hot Atlanta. If you guys remember, J-Rock is an attorney. Down in the Hot Atlanta, hottest of the Atlantas. But that was 12 years ago, and it only got worse. Don't crash out. Not yet. 2.0 needs to get a big bag of snow for Mickey Rackets for me. Yeah. Them no scopes get you every time they do. I fucking hate no scopes. I can't do no scoping, so it always upset me. It upset me. Anderson Cooper says, do a bump to stay up. Well, yes, I trust your CIA abilities and doing bumps to stay up. So, oh. Let's see here. Just double check there's anything else we can go through that's been posted. Let's see here. So yeah, nope. We're all set here, chat. We're all set. Let's see here. Okay. EDW Raptor says Tigers for the win tomorrow afternoon. Oh yeah. You know, it's at Cleveland, man. You got to be careful. I'm just saying, EDW Raptor, Tigers for the win tomorrow afternoon. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You see that? Hold on. We got to get rid of the banners here. You see that, chat? You see what that means right here? You see what that means? That means not welcome. That means not welcome, Tigers fans. Keep moving. Means keep moving, Tigers fans. Keep moving. Oh. You suffer, Sean. Yeah, well, I'm not going to suffer. What's that? I was pointing to Chief Wahoo at the bottom. The bucket. Right down here. You see that? Right here. Well, there. Job well done says we're going to win tomorrow. Yeah. Ag, I presume she's just finding out or trolling me. Well, people like to troll you, J-Rock. SB Sellers, he's not a pet. He's safe in Ohio. Yes. I am awake now. I'm awake enough. You mean the racist emblems? Yes. Yes, the racist emblems. Brian says, you see Anderson Cooper is hit in the face live during the hurricane. No, I did not. Okay, chat. So what does this ultimately mean right now? I'm sure the Judge Gull is going to deny a bunch of this shit as we get ready for trial. The very fortuitous timing of the Indiana Department of Corrections firing their contractor and having the psychiatrist removed on the eve of trial. Like it's very, very, very fortuitous for all this to happen when you think about it. So, I mean, if Richard Allen's guilty, they are going to a lot of work to fuck over a guilty guy. I mean, they wouldn't do all this if, like, all this sketchy and questionable stuff. You know, like it's just you don't do this. So, like I said, we'll find out what happens, but don't hold your breath, chat. It's probably going to be news we aren't going to want to hear. So, I guess I'll say to Richard Allen, man, I wish you the best and good luck. What was I saying? What was the funniest news you heard this week? What was the funniest thing? Not really sure. I didn't really call anything like super funny, but sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it be like that. Scott X says, I'm watching an old Tales of the Crypt episode where a woman in the scene said, Alan and Richard, the last time he said Richard Allen. Oh, I remember that show. Dan the Dev says, are we going to do more streams of Matt for Fudbusters in the future? Yeah. Matt's been on a couple of times before. I love having Matt on. He's always a great time. Very knowledgeable, very fun. I mean, he likes to sit there and just chat. He likes to sit there and bullshit, and it helps that we get all ADD with each other. So, and run off. So, yeah, we'll definitely be doing more with him. He is. I would consider him a friend of the show. A friend of the show. And speaking of that, chat, we got to cover our sponsors real quick. And tonight, this stream is brought to you by our first sponsor, the dragonstreasure.com, a haven for tea and anime lovers. You guys, you can go there and use the promo code criminal, and you can get 10% off. You get 10% off everything that's out there. The teas, the soap, the coffee. Don't eat the soap, chat. Don't eat the soap. Don't eat the soap. But there's all kinds of soaps out there. There's a Fireforge soap, a lavender soap, a tea tree soap, a soap about the ancient forest. All kinds of stuff out there, chat. You can find that at thedragonstreasure.com. You remember, use the promo code criminal. You get 10% off. Yes. Yes, don't drop the soap either. 2.0 is correct. Do not drop the soap. That would be very, very bad. That would be very bad. And then the second sponsor for us tonight is, yes, Matt LaRosier Fudbusters at MAF Arms. You can find them at maf-arms.com. Your one-stop source for pew-pews and wind chimes and wind chime accessories. Use the promo code POCCRIM and you get 10% off. And if you, with that promo code, Matt will take that invoice home and he will put it in a pillowcase and he will sleep on it for the night. And then he'll mail it with your order, and then you can get it out and you can just hold it up to your nose and go. You'll have the smell of Matt with you forever. He's promised me he'll do it, so he has to do it. He said he'll do it, and that's using the promo code POCCRIM. Half Irish says he should introduce him to Runkle. I think him and Runkle have been on before. So. Yes, we need to get sponsored by the companies that make the Peens Clyde shoes on. Yes, that would be a good idea. I've been bought and paid for by Big Cope. Yes. Can I sit on your Richard Allen plushie? No, sorry. Nope, I can't sit on your stuffy. Let's see here. Oh my God, you guys are being ridiculous. Yes, check out the MAF dash. Yes, check out MAF Arms' Magic ATF 8-ball, among other things they sell. Yes. Let's see here, and there was a couple more things here. EDW Raptor's been a member for 13 months. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, the Tigers are going to win tomorrow afternoon. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think so. And then Cedar Rose has been a member for 13 months as well. And she says, a palate cleanse. Can we do the League of Pigs or something like that? And you know what? We'll do that. I think we need that. Because, yeah, guys, I'm serious. This is not going to end well for Richard Allen. I'd love to tell you it is. I'm not so sure. We're just going to see. You don't. We'll just see. We'll just see. Like I said, it's just. Like I said, I like to hope it's going to change, but I'm just not counting on it, chat. And I hate to be that way, but that's how I be. It's like that song, they don't know who we be. Well, in this case, they do. They do. Is anyone doing a wellness check on Nick? No, but I assume he's okay. And I hope he truly is okay. I hope he's getting right with his life and getting right with the world. So, but anyways, you guys, we'll do a palate cleanser here. We'll do a little bit of the League of Pigs, and then we'll close out because, yeah, guys, I'm sorry. It's a little rough right now. It's a little rough. Hold on here. KLF, what do you got up here? What is this? Here we go. Okay. We'll do this one here. Okay, KLF sent this in.
Wood, that's where Jeff Curley is standing by right now.
All right, so here we'll do this. All right, here we go.
Minnesota. Few details are being released, but we do know that they made one bust in Maplewood. That's where Jeff Curley is standing by right now. Jeff, what do you have going on for us?
They're still inside searching for evidence. I'm told 6 people have been arrested and charged with intent to possess and deliver cocaine. I'm told as much as 44 pounds of cocaine. As I said, they're still inside. They used a battering ram to break through glass in a steel reinforced door here. We first heard about it through a tip line call early this afternoon.
A major drug sweep in Minnesota.
That's funny. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And we'll just watch a race or two here, chat. You guys have never seen these. This is the this is called League of Pigs. This is a channel on here on YouTube, and they race pigs. And this is a little click palate cleanser. So, if you guys join us over on Locals at potentiallycriminal.locals.com, you get to see us hang out and watch stuff like this. And this is called the League of Pigs. We're going to watch one quick race here. Here's all the pigs. These are all pigs. This is my favorite guy, Hoshi. I love him. He's the best pig.
Hello, League of Piggers, and welcome back to round 2 of this most historic season. Last round, the pigs were introduced to a new curved track, and that caused a lot of confusion initially, but the pigs soon adapted, none more so than Piggy Smalls and Bear Trotsky, who scored a mighty 45 points apiece. In fact, it's the first time we've had a tied score.
We're going to get this ready here at the actual race. Here we go.
Well, as you're seeing right now, the pigs are in a very excitable mood, so let's take full advantage of that fact and go straight over to the first race. Off the little pigs go, and it's Pepper Sanchez leading the pack. Ginger's also in second place, and there's Mini Mountain now being added to the track, and Ginger's now leading out in front for his water. And this is a huge news for Hoshi Oiku fans and Piggy Smalls fans. Hoshi Oiku crosses the line. Water has been reintroduced to this league after so many.
And that's how they race the pigs. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun out there, chat. They are hilarious. Are we betting on these? You could bet. You could take odds on these. You could take odds. Tim says Hoshi Oinku is the worst. No, Bear Trotsky is the worst pig because that's only won one. Every other pig has won the championship twice. Palmyra Productions says YouTube toes to count bent over 13 months. Baldo ass. Oh. Yeah, Hoshi sure had the advantage on the water hazard, yes. And the cedar got her palate cleanser, yeah. Well, like I said, guys, it's a pretty good palate cleanser. It's a lot of fun. Porcelain Thunder says they had this at the fair. Yeah, but not with a British guy announcing it like it's Formula One. That was a pretty cool part about it. Yes, another win for the toe. But yeah, guys, there you go. That is the... Does a loser become bacon? No, not yet. Guys, but yeah, that, like I said, this is the status of Richard Allen. I know it's a little depressing. Wasn't trying to do that to you, but it is what it is, chat. It is what it is. Oh. All right. So yeah, I think we're all set. Yeah, calling balls and strikes. Yeah, it's just this one's gonna suck, guys. I really hope it works. Jarek says, "What the fuck? It's not even midnight." I know. We might go live and do a little bit of model stuff, J-Rock, because now that I got the airbrush working, we can finish your model. So we might brush that up a little bit tonight. Did you watch the clip I DM'd you? It's the wildest thing I think Runkle has ever done. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen it. Let me wait. Where'd you hold on? Where did you send it? You DM'd it to me. Okay, let me. You DM'd it in like Discord or Twitter? Because I haven't seen Twitter in probably about an hour and a half now, 2 hours. Let me check. Messages. Yeah, I don't see. Where would you have sent it? Because I don't see it. We're going all night, chat. You know, yeah, Nick Starr has covered the Odinism part of this as well, yes. I say that every week. No, we're actually ready to go, J-Rock, so we got everything set up to do this. So, J-Rock, set up your own stream. Oh. All right, guys. So, yeah, we're all done here. We're all done. I think we probably will do a little bit of model stuff tonight. Just for right now, we are going to take a real quick break so I can get reset. But, yeah, I think we're doing a little bit of painting tonight. I think it should be fun. So you sent it on Twitter. I don't... Yeah, I don't see when did you... Oh. Yes, I did. Yes, I see it. I see it. I see it now. Yes, I did watch it. It's hilarious. Yes, I don't understand the context of everything there, so I need to watch a little more of that stream. Jarek says, for the chat to find out where I am? No way. Yeah. So, but yes, guys, give me a little bit. We'll probably hang out for a little while, do a little bit of painting. It's Friday night. And we'll hang out and do something a little more, I guess, fun and not as doom worthy as this. But yeah, I just, Richard Allen, man, my good luck and Godspeed to you. I know you have great attorneys, and I hope God blesses you with competent and effective counsel and jurors who truly understand what they're supposed to do and assess you with an open and honest mind. I really do. That's what I hope. So, what? What do you mean a ramble reading? Like, really? I just hope Richard Allen, I hope God blesses him with the opportunity not to go to prison. What? I don't get what you're talking about. Well, no, I'm drinking water anyway, so I'm not toasting him. That would be, sacrilegious. But no, I hope Richard Allen actually has a fucking chance. I don't want him to go to prison. Okay, sorry. God, don't help Richard Allen. Fuck him. I mean, yes, I hope God gives Richard Allen jurors who actually care and attorneys who do a great job. And if that makes me Nick, I guess, whatever. I hope that Richard Allen is not forced to wear the baldo. That would be a lifetime prison sentence. I hope, in fact, it is Judge Gull who's made to wear the baldo. So, yes, there's dissension in the household. Yes, a 2.0 must not like Richard Allen. I don't know. It wasn't even a toast, guys. I was just drinking water. Fuck's sake. Yes, I hope Richard Allen I wish nothing better for him than an acquittal. I hope his attorneys are swift in their thought and they're on top of it and the jurors give him a fair shot. Yeah, that's why I didn't toast him. That wasn't a toast. That's why I didn't toast it. Okay, guys, yes, I hope the Indians win. And now I drink. Is that a toast? No, it's not. I wasn't doing the gay thing where I stand here for 4.5 minutes toasting it up. Just saying. Yes, I'm not wishing him $1 million either. But yes, everybody should pray for Richard Allen's attorneys. They should. They should. Literally a toast. I'll toast you. Lick the cup for good luck. Yeah. Leave the toasting shit for Nick. Okay, fine. Like I said, guys. No, God. Hey, God, call it off. Call it off. Chat said we can't. You can't help. Chat said don't help. There we go, chat. I told God call it off. You get what you want now. You get what you want. You get what you want. Yes, this is another win for the toe. Yes, I have to lick the faucet now. Yes. Yes, Richard Allen, I wish you 1 million acquittals and $1 million. There. Is that better now, guys? There's no toasting. There's no wishing well at all. We can't wish people well at all anymore. Nick fucked that up for everybody. I'm so sensitive. I'm sensitive because you guys are fucking with something where I'm genuinely want someone to do well. An innocent man to walk out of his fucking hell that he's been in. Yeah. Guys are just absolutely retarded. You're just being retarded, chat. Yeah, SB Seller says, now it's your fault when he loses. Nope. I was told we can't toast him because apparently that's Baldo-esque. Can't wish people well. Can't hope things turn out well. You have to say fuck everybody. Apparently that's the only way you could do it and not be considered like a Baldo-Stinian or something. So just saying, apparently that's the rules you guys are setting. Debbie says, wow, what a dick. Hey, I was the one who's trying to say Richard Allen well, and everybody else started crying about it. So, wait, am I only now realizing chat's retarded? No, I know it's already retarded. Oh. Can Clyde come out of the bathroom now? Clyde's hanging out with 2.0. J-Rock says, would you mind making a toast to my dead dog in my pick? Pebbles the Destroyer. You name that dog's name Pebbles? It's a big... Why would you... Wouldn't Pebbles be like the appropriate name for like a little dog like Clyde? Naming a big dog like Pebbles doesn't seem to like... That just seems weird. I thought that dog was named Coco. And oh, that's your other dog named Coco. I did this to myself. No, you did it. No, in fact, it is you who did it to yourself. J-Rock says, would you mind making a toast to the dead dog in my pick, Pebbles the Destroyer? No, J-Rock, I'm not toasting your dead dog. Oh. Toast. The only toast is what I'm eating, chat. That's the only kind of toast I'm going to eat. What? What, the J-Rock thing? Well, he said it as a normal thing, and then he said it as a super chat. I have to read the super chat. Duh. If he keeps on saying it, I'll have to keep reading it. No, we're not anime sucks Cope and Sneed. We're not in that mode. Yes. The toe is winning left and right. The toe is winning on both feet. Toast, but no butter, Sean. That's fine. The carbs are a bigger issue anyway than the fats. Two is A-logging the fuck out of me. Do not fucking give her help. Oh. Old Line Red says my dog in the dog in my pick is named Tallulah, and she would still F someone up despite her name. Well, I don't. That the name doesn't really scare anything there. So, and J-Rock says toast Sean. Allen has the same chances as her. Toast Sean Allen has the same chances as what? What? I'm good, J-Rock. You didn't do a good job with that, man. Oh. Yes, I have Coco. She's alive. I know. That's why I said I forgot. Coco's the alive one. Jay says, I've been following the Delphi case since the day it happened, and to see how this is now a complete nightmare clusterfuck, it's sickening. Yes, it is. It's absolutely sickening. Okay, EDW Raptor says, Sean, would you mind making a toast to J-Rock's dead dog in his pick, Pebbles the Destroyer? No, I'm not doing it. Maddie B says the dog has the same chances as Alan. Ah, there we go. J-Rock says she's dead. Alan is dead guilty. Okay. Yes, and this is typical of Atlanta lawyers. Pretty much. Oh. Shugi saying we had high hopes for you writing and punching up to become the master toaster of LawTube. Well, I'm good, Chad. I'm good. Yes, can you toast my wife's boyfriend? She had her first orgasm in years. Yes. Can you toast the housekeeping staff at Hedonism too? They kept our sheets fresh and changed daily. Oh. Kaleidoscope says, "Yeesh." You guys are pressing F for Pebbles. So, all right, guys. So we are all caught up. We're all done here. Like I said, we're gonna do a little painting in a minute. Just give me a minute to get reset on everything and go check on 2.0. Won't take 45 minutes, but give me a couple minutes and we'll get started. Pebbles is a base dog. Okay. I take it. Take your word for it, J-Rock. It's from Alabama. Okay. All right, chat. So, yes, remember until next time, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, except for Richard Allen. He didn't do it. I'm not convinced he did it in any way. And he is, at this point, in my opinion, 100% innocent. And let's hope we end the trial with that, chat. It's a month away. So I will see you guys over here. We're going to do a stream in a little while. So we'll break out the paint and get some things going. In the meantime, everybody, take care. And I will talk to you guys later. See you in a little while.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy that cated